So, guys, the ANC is facing a lot of backlash after doing what everybody said, please don't do. The whole country said that they do not support any VAT rate increase because they understand what would VAT rate increase do to the poor people of this country. You remember even last time, this is the reason why the budget could not be passed, because the ANC wanted to slip on their 2% VAT rate increase. But this time around, they came back and said that, guys, we are going to raise the VAT rate increase by 1 percentage point. So we are going to take it from 15% to 16%, but we are not going to be blunt about it. We are going to do it in 2 stages. This year we are going to raise the VAT by 0.5, and next year we are going to raise the VAT rate by 0.5, meaning that, guys, things are going to be expensive this year, but next year things are going to be worse. This is what they basically said. That we are not going to make things easier for you. We understand that this 0.5 is going to affect you heavily, but wait until we put on our next 0.5 next year. And right now the people are pissed. The political parties are pissed because the ANC is failing to do what everybody says. That, guys, you have a bloated cabinet that you can look into. Just look at the ministers, just look at the pegs of the ministers, just look at the pegs of the deputy ministers, look at how many people we have in parliament, look at the pegs of those people. Guys, we are sure that there is a lot that you guys can do instead of driving around in Mercedes Benzes and BMWs. How about you guys take Toyota Crosses? And these are things that can actually save a government a lot of money. But unfortunately, this is not what the ANC actually wants to do. And the other thing that we said this thing time and time again, that, guys, before you actually want the people to put more money into your pockets, how about you look at the people that have been committing corruption there? How about you fix this issue of irregular expenditure? But these people, they do not want to even look at those issues, but they just want the people to continue to put the money down the toilet. This is what these people want. So what these people are essentially telling you is that we understand that there is a lot of corruption here in government, and we are not even going to look at that. We understand that there are a lot of people who are responsible for the irregular expenditure, and this is not what we are going to look into. But we want the people to continue paying the money and flushing their money down the toilets. So these people can raise tax until they raise it to 50%. It is not going to help as long as you have that much corruption that is taking place. But they don't want that. You remember even the Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile said that the ANC does not believe in cutting. We don't believe in cutting. This is after the DA had actually came with a wonderful plan. Like, guys, these are things that you should actually cut. Look into these things. Look into the things of the ghost workers. Look at the expenditure of the ministers. But they said, no, we are not going to do that because we don't believe in cutting. So these people, they still want their pegs. They still want their privileges at the expense of the people of this country. This is what is happening right now. And whoever is going to support this budget, South Africans must actually look at that person as a sellout. Now I'm willing to use that term. Now I'm willing to say that such and such are sellouts, because there is no way that someone with common sense can actually go out and support this budget of the ANC. There is no way, because right now they are saying that, no, we are going to raise the SASSA grants by this much. We are going to raise the elderly pension by this much, and at the same time we are going to raise the VAT rate. So it means that these people's money won't be worth it. What's the point of actually taking the 300? For an example, let's say that you take the 370 and you make it 390, and after making it 390 you are raising the VAT rate. It means that 390, it is nothing, it is worthless. But this is what these people are doing. This is what these people are doing. The ANC is already campaigning for 2029 elections. So what is going to happen right now is that the ANC is going to use this to go to the people to say that, guys, they didn't want you to get more money. They don't want us to actually raise more money for you guys. So this is the narrative that the ANC is going to use going into 2026, because the ANC understands that a lot of people are not in support of this budget, but unfortunately they are going to use that at their own advantage to say that, guys, we wanted to do this for you, but again, the political elites there, they don't want us to give you more money. So a lot of people are going to be pissed off. They are going to be pissed off because they don't care. They are going to be pissed off. So let's look at this article and see what it says. The article says that Minister of Finance Enoch Godongwana delivered the budget speech announcing a contentious VAT increase of 1 percentage point over 2 years. Several GNU partners have rejected the budget, signaling stormy waters ahead of the matter now goes to Parliament, where it will be debated in the committees and finally in the National Assembly. So I think it's going to be in May. It is going to be in May. If I'm not mistaken, the political parties are going to vote for this budget in May. So the highlights of the budget speech: the finance minister proposed a VAT increase, an initial 0.5 percentage point rise from the current 15% on 1 May 2025, followed by another 0.5 percentage point increase in 2026. I mean, guys, how is it possible that you're going to tell the people that we are going to make things expensive for you, but next year things are even going to get worse? And for some reason, you expect the people to go with that. You expect the people to go with that. Old age and disability grants will increase by 130, child support grant by 30 rand, and foster care grant by 70 rand. The SRD grant is extended until March 2026, and it will be restructured into a permanent basic income support mechanism. So they are looking to make this SRD grant permanent. They are looking to make this SRD grant permanent. And guys, if I'm not mistaken, this SRD grant, it is no longer popular in the country. It is no longer popular in the country because a lot of people are saying that, okay, guys, we understand that it's going to take a long time, but how about you take that SRD grant and turn it into something that can be productive for the people? How about you take that money and put it maybe into the firms so that the young people can start working instead of giving them these 370s? Because to be honest, guys, if you were to come to the townships and actually see what the people do with the SRD grant, man, I don't want to lie. And I think this is the reason why this SRD grant is getting... This is the reason why people started to hate the SRD grant, because if you can come to the townships and actually see what the people do with this SRD grant, the same SRD grant that the likes of Ramaphosa likes to go around to say that, yeah, people are putting food on the table, to say that we are helping our people. If you could see what the people are doing with this SRD grant, you would be shocked. You would be shocked. I live in the township. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I live in the townships. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know what the people do with the SRD grant. I know when the people get their SRD grant, it is a party, man. It is a party. Excise duties on alcohol beverages and tobacco products will increase by 4.75% to 6.75% effective immediately. Your packet of 20s, I think they are talking about the cigarettes. Your packet of 20s will now cost 1 rand more. It will cost 1 rand more. Eskom debt relief has been revised down to 50 billion from 70 billion, saving the taxpayers 20 billion. No, saving the government 20 billion. Has nothing to do with the taxpayers. PRASA get 19.2 billion for rail infrastructure upgrades. There will be no increase in sugar tax this year. There will be no increase in sugar tax this year. A further indication of the stormy waters ahead is that the ANC alliance partners COSATU has actually called on Parliament to reject this budget, terming it anti-poor. So even COSATU, the same COSATU, oh my God, the same COSATU comes out to say that we want the Parliament to reject this budget because this budget of the ANC, it is anti-poor. It is an anti-poor budget. So COSATU is not even supporting this budget of the ANC. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that one day COSATU would actually go against the ANC? In a statement this afternoon, COSATU said it calls upon Parliament to reject this ill-considered pickpocketing of the workers and amend the budget with more progressive tax revenue options. They are saying it is a pickpocketing of the workers. They are pickpocketing the workers. The Trade Union Federation also said it was deeply irritated that SARS has been allocated an additional 500 million, stating SARS has shown that it has the capacity to deliver. It did, however, welcome the above inflation increase for social grants and the funds made available for job creation. Guys, I hope, there's nothing that irritates the living hell out of me is when the ANC talks about job creation. There is no job creation that has been created by the ANC. The ANC is totally out of plans. You cannot tell me that you believe the ANC when they are talking about job creation. There is no job creation for the ANC, guys. There is no job creation. Why are these people continuing to say that job creation, job creation? Even Fikile Mbalula yesterday on social media, he said that this budget actually, we will go to that tweet. He said something about the employment and job creation. There is no job creation for the ANC. The ANC absolutely has no ideas. They have no ideas. But the thing is that they know what they need to do if they want this thing to actually be achieved. But the thing is that I'm starting to feel like the ANC really doesn't want the people to work in this country. They want more people in this country to depend on the state so that they can continue controlling them, because it is an easy thing, man. Just clean up the corruption, man. Just clean up the corruption and provide people with the water, provide people with the electricity, and the investor confidence, before you even know it, it's up. It's up. And one of the reasons why the people are not investing in this country is because there is lawlessness in this country. There is lawlessness in this country, and the ANC doesn't want to tackle that. They don't want to create a conducive environment where the businesses can come. They don't want to do that because I feel like they want the people to continue depending on them. This is why this issue of job creation, it is something that they know very well what needs to be done so that the people can work. But you know what is funny is that when people start working, they can actually see the ANC for exactly what it is. They can see the ANC for exactly what it is. So they know that once people start making their own money, they can be like, no, I don't want anything to do with the ANC. Just look at how corrupt these people are. But if the people are not working, they know very well that majority of the people are going to depend on them. As long as the ANC is in power, I know that I'm going to get a bit of 2 cents from the ANC. But once the people start working, I can tell you for free, a lot of people, man, were pro-ANC. A lot of people, they were pro-ANC. That's why they say that the students in the universities, they will be pro-EFF until they start working. And they will sing the struggle songs until they start working. Once they start working, they don't want anything that is going to disturb them. They don't want anything that is going to disturb them. That's why they normally distance themselves from these political parties. And the ANC, they know this very well. They know it very well that once people start working, they distance themselves from the ANC. On balance, though, it's a big thumbs down for COSATU. So, quoting, "We cannot afford to continue to stumble along a path of business as usual and expect better results. So the DA says that the ANC budget does not have a majority. This is what the DA is saying, that the ANC budget does not have a majority. Earlier, Daily Mavericks Tim Cohen of Daily Maverick was querying whether the DA not supporting the budget might mean merely abstaining, allocating the budget to pass without their votes. In a statement just released, the Democratic Alliance has dispelled that possibility unequivocally, saying it refuses to give the ANC a majority to pass the budget. The DA says that we are refusing to give the ANC a majority to pass the budget, and suggesting that the ANC will not get a majority without them. So the DA says that without us, you are not going to get a majority. And the DA has actually made it very clear that they do not support any tax, any VAT rate increase. Here's the full statement. The DA will not support this budget. The Democratic Alliance made it clear to the ANC in the GNU that we would not support any increase in taxes unless those increases were temporary, and the ANC agreed to a series of major reforms that would grow the economy, create jobs. Guys, can someone please slap me in the face? Because why would the ANC say that they have agreed to a series of major reforms that would grow the economy and create jobs? These are two things that the ANC have actually failed. These are two things that the ANC have actually failed. So it says that the ANC agreed to a series of major reforms that would grow the economy, create jobs, reduce waste, and bring down taxes within 3 years. The ANC refused to agree to these measures and instead on a two likely permanent VAT rate increases, which will increase the VAT by 1% over the next 2 years. A consequence, the people of South Africa will be poorer and the future of the government is at risk. The underlying problem is that the ANC has still not accepted the outcome of the general elections, and it cannot bring itself to share the power. This is the truth. The ANC still believes that they are the ones that are calling the shots. Even today, the ANC does not realize that they are not calling the shots anymore. They are in power with other political parties. It is deeply unfortunate that the ANC is prepared to sacrifice the South African people and risk economic future of this country rather than accept it no longer has the majority support. The ANC VAT budget doesn't have a majority and the DA won't give it one. It is now up to the ANC to fix the mess that it has created. So while almost everybody agrees that, okay, this is nonsense, we cannot support the ANC on this nonsensical budget, here comes Gayton McKenzie, the Minister of Sports, Art and Culture and the leader of Patriotic Alliance. It says that Minister of Sports, Art and Culture, the leader of Patriotic Alliance, Gayton McKenzie, told Daily Maverick that his party was in support of the budget 100%, in particular the announcement around the budget allocations for the teachers. There you have it, guys. Gayton McKenzie says that his party is in support of the budget 100%. He's in support of the ANC squeezing the money out of South Africans. They are in support of that. I cannot believe this, man. I honestly cannot believe it. Gayton McKenzie, why would you support a budget that actually makes people even more poor? As we speak today, majority of the people in this country cannot even afford the basic needs. So if you're going to come out and actually support this budget, it means that you support the ANC squeezing the blood out of South Africans. This is what you support. This is what you support, and South Africans must not forget. Guys, you must not forget that Gayton McKenzie supports this budget that squeezes the blood out of South Africans. MK parliamentary leader John Hlophe told the journalist that they would not support this budget at all. Mr. Wouter Wessels from Freedom Farm Plus and the national chairperson told Daily Maverick that the party is not in support of any tax increases, including the 0.5 percentage point VAT rate increase. He says that there was no consensus in the GNU on that issue. There was no consensus. The leader of Build One South Africa, Mmusi Maimane, says that as it stands in its current form, the party would not vote in support of this budget. As chair of the Appropriations Committee in Parliament, Mmusi Maimane said a lot of panel beating needs to be done on the budget. Quote, the budget will come to me, so I've got a lot of work to do before we get to the point of voting. At this stage in time, I don't support any tax increases. So this is what people are saying. Mr. Steve Swart from ACDP, this is one of my favorite politicians, by the way. Mr. Steve Swart from ACDP says the party is disappointed with the increase in VAT. Quote, we understand it's a very difficult fiscal environment, but we are opposed to 1% VAT increase, which is going to impact the poorest of the poor. This is what Mr. Wouter Wessels say. Guys, the last time when we actually did an update about this thing of the budget, the last time, I don't know why is someone calling me. Come on, man. So the last time we actually did an update about this issue of the VAT rate. The good party said that they were tiptoeing around whether they are going to support this VAT rate or what. They were tiptoeing around that, saying that they will have to be convinced by the ANC why they should support this VAT rate increase. But yesterday we got to learn from these people. That it seems like somehow they are in support of this, because it says that the Good Party Secretary General Brett Heron told Daily Maverick the party would vote in support of the budget. So the Good Party and the party of Gaten McKenzie, they say that they will vote in support of the budget. Quote, we have been saying that there are better ways of increasing the revenue rather than increasing VAT. But we also said we will look at the rumored 0.5% VAT rate increase in the context of the entire budget. So the Good Party and the party of Gaten McKenzie saying that they will support the budget. They say that they will support the budget. Guys, please forgive me for this blurry thing. I'm using my camera. I'm using my phone as a camera, and people are calling me. In a statement, Heron said the budget tabled by Minister of Finance Ino Godongwana today should be regarded as a relatively pragmatic 11-month holding job ahead of a comprehensive overhaul that must unfold by next February. The budget tabled by Minister of Finance Ino Godongwana today should be regarded as a relatively pragmatic 11-month holding job ahead of a comprehensive overhaul that must unfold by next Friday. So what's going to happen next? The relevant committees will now debate the budget separately as it relates to their portfolios. At the end of this progress, the whole parliament will debate the budget as a whole and vote on it. It's now over to the parliament leaders milling outside the dome to explain to the public their approaches to the key piece of this legislation. So now, as we speak, it is up to the parliamentarians. It is up to the parliamentarians. So let's look at a couple of reactions, but I want us to start from the reaction of the president of the country, because yesterday he got a chance to slightly speak with the media. I mean, guys, what is wrong with the president of this country, man? Why is the president of this country so anti-media? You know, this is one thing that I'm struggling to understand. The president of this country is so anti-media. Even when he speaks with the media, he only speaks with them for like 3 seconds, then he's out of there. I don't know why the president is like this, man. The president of this country, man, should be able to sit down with the media, should be able to take the questions from the media. When was the last time you saw the president of the country just standing there and taking the questions from the media? As I understand that there are a lot of things that people can actually ask the president of the country, but for some reason, this man will just take 2 questions and he will run away. He will run away as if somebody is trying to hurt him or not. I don't understand why the president of this country is like this. I don't understand. Honestly, I swear to God.
Well, it took a lot of discussions, a lot of talking together with the various parties, and it came to this. And in the end, the minister was faced with a lot of challenges and difficulties of how to balance the budget, particularly in the face of declining revenues, but also not wanting to cut spending and have austerity. And he was faced with 17,000 teachers in KZN who need work. He was faced with unemployed doctors. He was faced with increasing pension for the older people, so he had to juggle. Every minister of finance always has to juggle and find a balance. And there are difficult choices that are often made, and he has made the difficult choices. Now, Parliament will have to discuss all that and come up with solutions. Now, they must now bring about solutions.
So that's President Cyril Ramaphosa.
So Ramaphosa says that the people must actually bring the solutions. Because I think, according to the ANC, they don't have any solutions besides raising the VAT rate. I mean, like, the president of the country speaks like someone who has closed ears and closed eyes. I don't understand. People have been speaking about solutions. People have been speaking about solutions, and if he believes that, saying that it is up to the parliamentarians in parliament to actually come up with the solutions. If he thinks that this is a trap or some sort for the parliamentarians, then clearly he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Guys, please give me 2 minutes. Let me fix this cameraman. Okay, it's fine. Then clearly, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Because people have been speaking, man. People have been saying that you have a bloated cabinet. You have a bloated cabinet. You guys are wasting a lot of money there on your packs. You guys are wasting a lot of money on your benefits. What actually makes him think that it's going to be difficult for the politicians in parliament to come and actually say all of these things? To come and actually say all of these things. And I find it very strange that for the president who once went around saying that we are going to clean the government, we are going to get rid of these corrupt politicians that are costing the state a lot of money, they don't say anything about all of those. They don't say anything about all of those. Even the politicians in parliament, some of them, instead of actually speaking about this bloated cabinet, they are talking about taxing the wealth and taxing the corporates. This is what they are talking about, meaning that they are trying to protect their benefits. They don't want their benefits to be touched. So they would rather say tax the wealthy people. The ANC will never agree to this approach of taxing the wealthy people, because if they have to tax the wealthy people, it means that they will have to be taxed, because these are multimillionaires. A lot of people there in parliament, especially the ones that are in government, they will not push for the wealthy tax, because the wealthy tax is going to come to them directly. They know that if we push for the legislation to tax the wealthy, it means that we are going to pay more tax. And these people, I can assure you that they don't want to pay more tax. They don't want to pay more tax. And they come out to say that, no, how about you tax the corporations? The corporations must be taxed. But at the same time, they don't want to say to the people that if you tax the corporations, then the people are going to lose jobs. People are going to lose jobs. So they are still protecting their benefits. Even them there in parliament, the same people that are supposed to be there fighting for the people down the ground, they are protecting their benefits. They are protecting their packs. And they would rather see the people lose their jobs at their companies because they want to tax more money to the corporates. The same corporates that are hiring the people, they want those companies to pay more. They want those people to pay more. They are not even talking about Ramaphosa and the corruption that is happening at the administration of Ramaphosa. Like, it is insane, man. It is insane. So the president, if you wanted solutions, these are a couple of solutions.
We spoke earlier on this morning. You had a lot to say about this speech. You were also against a proposed VAT hike. We're at 0.5% this year, 0.5% in 2026. Is it reasonable, given what the president has just said about the choices that had to have been made?
I understand the choices, but taxpayers are fed up. They're not getting value for their money. And you can't expect them to pay more tax when we're having renewed power outages, we're having water crises, we're having logistics problems and crises at our municipalities. So our view is, don't raise the taxes, rather reduce the wasteful and bloated expenditure on the other side of the scale. And in that regard, we've got a massive bloated cabinet, we've got massive bloated state departments, we've got bailouts to state-owned companies. There was talk about Transnet getting another bailout, and we believe that is one way to reduce expenditure and then collect the revenue that is due to us. 800 billion rand is due to SARS that hasn't been collected, as well as the billions sitting in overseas bank accounts. Let's collect that, because that can help balance the books. But at the bottom, at the end of the day, you've got to get economic growth. 0.6% is too low, far too low. We've got to expedite economic growth so that we can collect more revenue and create jobs.
So those are just a couple of solutions, Mr. President. Those are a couple of solutions, man. I mean, even if you ask the people down the ground, I'm sure even the people down the ground, they know exactly what needs to be done. They know what needs to be done. So, guys, the video that I'm going to play you right now, I hope you do not lose your mind. I hope you do not lose your mind. I hope you do not get angry. I'm still down. With flu, I'm not well. This is why I cannot even shout. But right now, I feel the fire burning inside me, and I need to shout at these people. But unfortunately, my voice cannot allow me to shout. I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. You know, sometimes when I listen to these politicians, man, like, I swear to God, I don't know what to say. I'm defeated sometimes when I listen to these people. I'm defeated, thinking that these are the people that are making the decisions that are affecting us directly. The thought of these people being the ones that are making the decisions that are affecting us directly. I don't know how it makes me feel that we have such people in this country. Just listen to the first secretary, the first deputy secretary general of the ANC. Just listen to him.
Absolutely. Let's bring her in, the ANC's first Deputy Secretary General. It has been done. It's complete now. How do you feel about the possible backlash against the ANC for passing this 0.5% hike? Do you have any concerns, or do you agree with the Minister? Tough choices had to have been made, and you'll explain how that happened.
Tough choices had to be made. We are a listening government, a listening party.
They say that they are a listening government, despite the people saying that please do not raise the VAT rate. It is going to kill us. The VAT rate is going to kill a lot of people in this country. Majority of the people that are living in this country are poor people. So if you're going to increase the VAT rate 2 times, in 2 years, then these people are going to die. Then she has the audacity to stand there live on national television to say that they are a listening government, they are a listening political party. If they are a listening political party, why is there a backlash against this 0.5% that you are going to impose on the people this year and the 0.5% that you are going to impose on the people next year, making it 16%? 16% is going to kill the people in this country. Right now, as we speak, things are already expensive. But she has the audacity to stand there and say that they are a listening government.
Amongst other things that to welcome is the increase around the infrastructure spend, as well as the social security space. Investment on education and health is about improving the quality of life of South Africans. We are also putting lots of resources towards the area of safety and security, the area of defense. And most importantly, the budget has been tabled for Parliament to engage. South Africans across the length and breadth.
Did you see this lady? This lady here, this lady, the spokesperson of the ANC, she just arrived and leaned on Nomvula Mokonyane. It's almost as if, let me hear if she's saying things that are making sense. Let me hear if she's making things that are making sense. It's almost as if she was monitoring her. The way that she just slided next to Nomvula Mokonyane and just listened to Nomvula Mokonyane. It's weird. It's weird. It's almost as if she's monitoring her.
Now have an opportunity to come through parliamentary committees, make their necessary inputs, and of importance, even appreciate that from what was speculated to where we are today around the VAT is again an indication that affirms that we have a listening government, albeit the necessary challenges not only in our country but globally, and that even that VAT, it is going to be a targeted one that has also not necessitated any fuel hike.
Ms. Mokonyane, you had your ANC finance minister seemingly threatening to say, well, if we don't get a VAT hike, then I'd have to, eliminate the SRD grants, which has not been well received. You've come from an election where the ANC was in decline. What do you have to say about that? Because it's been perceived as some kind of arrogance and the ANC not wanting to accept that you're in a multi-party government.
Isn't it, it is affirmed here today that the SRD grants will remain? Precisely because we're looking at the vulnerability of our communities, the vulnerability of the unemployed, but the intake that's going to happen in health and education, including an inclusive growth on the economy and the infrastructure projections that are going to focus on water and electricity, are also a determining factor for possible job opportunities and job creation. In the first quarter, I'm sure you saw, there has also been an increase in terms of the numbers of those that have been employed. It's a journey we have to travel together. And what is good is that we are a listening party, but also we appreciate that through the GNU, everybody has come to realize that we can't use the budget as a political tool to reopen issues that must be addressed through Parliament.
Fikile Mbalula literally said a budget is a political tool. Your own Secretary General literally said, that the budget is a tool, is a political tool. But you are here saying that the budget is not a political tool. Which is which? Fikile Mbalula can't say that a budget is a political tool, and you come and say that the budget, it is not a political tool. So speaking of Fikile Mbalula, he actually wrote a tweet yesterday that actually made a lot of people very angry. So Fikile Mbalula says that, oh my God. Then Fikile Mbalula says that John Steenhuisen was so clear. Stop implementing transformative laws if you want us to support the budget. This is their objection. This is their objection, not a concern on the poor. This is crazy stuff. So Fikile Mbalula actually believes that increasing the VAT rate, it means that you have the concern for the poor people. Increasing the VAT rate, it means that you have the concern for the poor people. So when John Steenhuisen says that we are not going to support this budget, Fikile Mbalula goes on social media to say that John Steenhuisen says that we don't want you guys to implement their transformative laws if you want us to support the budget. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. How can people actually raise the VAT and say that they are doing it on the poor, knowing very well that this budget is going to affect the poor people? And many poor people are not going to be able to afford a lot of things. It is insane. So guys, I want us to take few reactions from some of these people. Then let us close this video.
GNU, the Democratic Alliance, say they will not be supporting this budget. Your reaction to that?
No, the issue is that we've been engaging them quite for some time. They want to counterpose everything else on battles that they have lost. They want to counterpose the budget to Bela Bill, to NHI, to expropriation. And we say to them, we cannot counterpose political processes to a budget. A budget is for the country to work, and we cannot succumb to that.
So the ANC is happy that they were able to ram through the NHI. They were able to ram through the Land Expropriation Act and the Bela Bill. But now that they can see that it seems like we cannot do anything without the DA on the budget, they are saying, no, guys, those issues were politically, but this issue of the budget, it is not politically. Unfortunately, it is politically. It is politically. Helen Zille told you that, guys, you can ram through all of these things. We will see you on the budget. Helen Zille told you a couple of months ago. Helen Zille told you that we are going to see what are you going to do with the budget. We are going to see. And a political party that is going to vote for this budget, I don't think they actually understand how furious South Africans are going to be with them. I don't see how. I don't think they understand how furious the people are going to be with them. Because even the DA, if the DA for some reason you make a compromise on this budget, you are done. You are done. You are done. There's no need for you guys to be in the GNU. Because you being in the GNU, you are just there to rubber stamp what the ANC does. So you have to stay opposing this budget through and through. Make it hell for them. Make it hell for them. This budget must not be passed. This budget must not be passed. It must not be passed. Whoever is going to vote for this budget, he's our next target. He's our next target. We are going to do everything in our power to ensure that the people knows that this person wants you to pay more for things that you used to pay for. These people want things to be expensive for you. So this budget must not be passed. The ANC needs to understand that this budget is one thing that actually needs to teach the ANC a lesson that you are not in government alone. You are not the ruling party anymore. You do not have the majority. You do not have the majority. So we are looking at the DA very closely. We are giving the DA a very close eye. We don't want any compromise, not even a single compromise. When it comes to this budget, the DA must stand exactly where they are. They must not even move, not even by 1%.
Exchange political issues for the budget. So they will have to support the budget. Others will support it because it is focused on allocations, on issues of spending, education, health, infrastructure, social grants. Those are the issues that talk to our people, not 0.5% VAT.
The question now, will the ANC get enough support to be able to pass the budget as well as the money bills?
It depends on parties in parliament. Actually, you will see when this debate comes back, it is going to split society into two, black and white. And that is what we should avoid at all costs.
The racial politics. The racial politics. Here we are again. Here we are again. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the racial budget politics. This is now the racial budget politics.
Cost, unify society. If we want to polarize it, we can polarize it. But the reality is that a budget is not an ANC budget. It's a budget for the country.
All right, thank you so much. Minerals and Petroleum Resources Minister Gwede Mantashe. I'm going to bring in now Musi Maimane, the leader of BOSA. The minister, the elephant in the room, of course, was the proposal of the VAT hike. Your take on his announcement?
Absolutely, we reject the idea of a VAT hike. I think South Africans are going to be double taxed. It's on VAT, but also on personal tax. You are asking teachers, lawyers, nurses, all citizens to now be paying more tax. What ultimately we need is a growth plan. We are obviously clear about the fact that today there was no prioritization of cutting expenditure so that you can fund growth. Funding growth is about increasing the infrastructure spend, making sure it's efficient. As a committee now that receives the budget, the job that we'll now be doing is making sure that we look at every line item, reduce wasteful expenditure that is not serving the people of this country, and ensure that ultimately all money that is allocated goes towards the people of this country.
All right, thank you so much, Musi Maimane, BOSA leader. We look forward to the debate in the House on the budget. Athol Trollip, the parliamentary leader for Action SA. The tax increase on VAT has always been the debate going into this budget speech. Your take as Action SA on the 1% increase on the VAT?
Look, first of all, I want to talk about the fact that this economy can't grow. The minister himself said it's been stagnating for 10 years. And because of that, we have more and more people on social relief to stretch grant. So that's why this budget can't balance. So nothing mentioned about cutting state-owned enterprises that are redundant and obsolete. There's nothing about cutting the cabinet size. No mention of cutting corruption. The only reason we can't grow this economy is because our country is corrupt. It's perceived to be corrupt. There's no property security, and those are the issues that drive away investment. So we can't attract investment. So regardless of Gwede Mantashe says here about polarizing society, society is already polarized, rich and poor. And there are too many poor people in this country, and the ANC government must take responsibility for the fact that they cannot grow this economy. And they are not prepared to tighten their belt, but they expect everyone else to tighten their thin-waisted belts.
Will you vote for the budget?
Absolutely. It looks like we will not be able to vote for this budget because there's no change, there's no policy reform that makes us believe that they can actually implement what they're saying. And there's also his commitment to funding SARS is positive, but there's a disconnect between what he said there and what's written in the White Book. So we'll have to go and scrutinize that properly. And if the two dots can be joined up, we can consider it. But there has to be policy change, and there was no indication of policy change.
All right, thank you so much, Athol Trollip, the parliamentary leader for Action SA. I'm going to swing around now and bring in Dr. John Hlophe, the leader of the MK party here in Parliament. Of course, I'm going to just swing around. There's quite a scrum here. Dr. Hlophe, firstly, the issues really coming into this budget was always going to be around whether the minister is going to increase VAT. He's announced a 1% increase over the next 2 years. As MK, is that a wise move on his part?
Well, thank you. Good afternoon to viewers at home. We have waited for so long to express our views as the official opposition.
I mean, nobody takes you seriously, man. Like, I saw that guy of the MK party screaming because not a camera was actually paying attention to you. You guys there as the MK party. Truth of the matter is that nobody actually takes you seriously. Nobody takes you seriously, man. Unfortunately, you guys have not even made yourself. You have not even created that thing for yourselves. And so I'm not surprised that even the media people are not even taking you seriously. I'm sorry.
On his part?
Well, thank you. Good afternoon to viewers at home. We have waited for so long to express our views as the official opposition. In our considered view as the MK party, the minister had a number of options to explore, but the option that the minister chose, in our view, is a wrong one. Increasing VAT by any percentage is disastrous. To increase it by 0.5% this year and next year as well, the people who are going to suffer most are black people. These are the people who pay VAT, and we are going to suffer most.
The question really on your statement, what other options did he have in your view?
There were a number of options. Wealth tax, for example, is very important. There are many tycoons here who should be paying wealth tax.
Like, what actually makes guys, these people are not going to push for a wealth tax, because a wealth tax means that they themselves are going to pay more. They are not going to do that, man. Stop saying that these people must push for wealth tax. This is not what they are going to do.
There's no reason why we should not increase wealth tax. The other option is to increase corporate tax. It is a viable option in our view. There are other options. Capacitate SARS and make SARS better able to collect revenue. There are so many people who are getting away with murder, who are not paying their tax. That, in our considered view, would generate a lot of revenue, as opposed to increasing VAT by 0.5%, which no doubt will affect so many people, particularly the poorest of the poor. So from that point of view, the budget speech was a huge disappointment.
How about slashing your parliamentary salaries by 20%? How about slashing your parliamentary salaries by 20% and actually decreasing your PACs? Oh, you are not even going to talk about your PACs. You are not going to talk about your benefits as the members of parliament. But you want the companies that are already hiring the people to pay more. As long as you guys can still afford your PACs, as long as you guys can still fly around freely on taxpayers' money, you don't want any of that to be cut, but you want the companies that are hiring people to pay more. These people are just typical politicians. They are just typical politicians. Guys, what do you think about the ANC and the ANC trying to raise the VAT rate by 0.5 this year and next year again by 0.5, which is now going to make our tax 16%? What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that? Nomvula Mkonyane, the Deputy Secretary General of the ANC, said that they are a listening party. Cyril Ramaphosa said that it's up to the parliamentarians because they came with their solutions. Now it's time for the parliamentarians to come with their own solutions. What do you think about this whole mess, guys? Please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.